Magandang araw po, si Kuya Bian po ito. Tatalakayin po natin sa araw na ito ay ang Republic Act 9262, Anti-Violence Against Women and Children Act of 2004. This law was enacted in March of 2004. This law protects women and children from acts of violence. What are the types of violence covered by Republic Act 9262? First, physical violence. Physical violence refers to acts that include bodily or physical harm. It also covers threatened bodily or physical harm, attempt to commit bodily or physical harm. Second is sexual violence. Sexual violence refers to act which is sexual in nature committed against a woman or her child. It includes but not limited to the following: rape, acts of lasciviousness, sexual harassment, treating a woman or her child as a sexual object, forcing a woman or her child to watch obscene publication, indecent shows, or forcing his wife and mistress or lover to live in a conjugal home, or to sleep together in one room with the abuser, or prostituting her or her child. The concept of sexual violence is this: we know for a fact that sex is something wonderful. It is a way of perpetuating human species. Sex is also a way to express intimacy of love. However, if a person has a distorted concept of sex, in that he is treating a woman or a child as a sexual object, or making a woman or her child as a means to gratify or satisfy his sexual fantasy, and compelling her or her child to do an act against their will, that is where sexual violence arises. Third is psychological violence. Psychological violence refers to acts or omissions causing or likely to cause mental or emotional suffering of the victim. It includes but not limited to the following: intimidation, harassment, stalking, public ridicule or humiliation, destroying property, abusive injury to pet, repeated verbal abuse, marital infidelity, etc. The concept of psychological violence is that the law protects the mental and emotional well-being of a woman or her child. If a given act or omission adversely affect mental or emotional well-being of a woman or her child, there is that violation of Republic Act 9262. Fourth is what we call economic abuse. Economic abuse, the concept of economic abuse is to make a woman financially dependent. The offender uses economic resources to control a woman. That is why it is considered economic abuse to withdraw financial support from a woman or to prevent her to exercise legitimate profession, occupation, or business, or controlling personal money and personal property of a woman, or controlling solely community or conjugal property. This economic abuse even includes destroying of household property. So the concept of economic abuse is to make a woman financially dependent. The offender uses economic resources as a way of control by withholding them from the woman or preventing the woman to be able to acquire financial resources by herself. These four types of violence contemplated by Republic Act 9262 are encompassing. That is why if a woman or her child are poorly treated by the offender, for sure there is a violation of Republic Act 9262. Now, another significant part of Republic Act 9262 is Section 5. Section 5 of Republic Act 9262 enumerated acts constituting violence against women and children. The enumerations there are inclusive. That is paragraph A to paragraph I. Now, whenever a person is charged for violation of Republic Act 9262, the charge is violation of Republic Act 9262 in relation to Section 5, paragraphs. So that's from paragraph A to paragraph I. This section is significant in order to determine the proper penalty to be imposed to a given act. If a woman or her child is poorly treated, we can look at Section 5, paragraphs A to I, and for sure we'll find that one or more provisions of that section are violated, enough to warrant for filing of a case for violation of Republic Act 9262. Who is the offender with respect to that law? The law says any person. So it can be a man, or as per decided case of the Supreme Court, even a lesbian can be an offender. Who is the offended party? The offended party is a wife, a former wife, a woman who has or had sexual or dating relationship, or a woman with whom he has a common child, or against her child, legitimate or illegitimate, living within or without conjugal abode. What are the penalties for violation of Republic Act 9262? Whenever Republic Act 9262 is violated, there are 3 penalties to be imposed. One is imprisonment depending on the offense committed. Second is fine ranging from 100 to 300,000. And third is mandatory psychological counseling or psychiatric treatment, such that if a person is convicted for violation of Republic Act 9262, we will say in the dispositive portion of the decision that there are 3 penalties being imposed: imprisonment, fine, mandatory psychological counseling, or psychiatric treatment. Aside from penalties, under Republic Act 9262, a victim of violence may also avail of what we call protection order. Protection order is an order issued to prevent further commission of acts of violence. There are 3 protection orders considered by Republic Act 9262. One is the Barangay Protection Order. This is issued by the barangay having jurisdiction of the place. The duration of the Barangay Protection Order is 15 days. There is also what we call Temporary Protection Order. This is a protection order issued by the Regional Trial Court having jurisdiction of the commission of the crime. And the duration of temporary protection order is 30 days. However, it may be extended while the permanent protection order hearing is being held. And finally, the permanent protection order. This permanent protection order is effective and may only be lifted upon the request of the victim. Violation of Republic Act 9262 is a public crime, so it can be filed by any citizen who has personal knowledge of the circumstances of the commission of the crime. Unlike private crime of seduction, abduction, rape, acts of lasciviousness, these crimes may only be filed by the private offended party. Republic Act 9262 is considered a law which is fair to women but unfair to men. But we should not look at the law that way. We should look at the law at the right perspective. This law encourages men to be in their proper frame before entering into a relationship, romantic at that, in that they cannot afford to be wishy-washy in entering into a given relationship. And if they feel not happy, ending it wishy-washy. As Dr. Robert Clover, a dating and relationship coach, said, men should be better picker and better ender. So please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that I can meet you again.